right. All right. Let's do that. Let's make sure that I can. All right. And yeah, looks like we are Gucci Gucci. Let me just make sure this is got everyone visible. Looks like we do. Um, yes. And then if any of you guys want to get your email addresses on this form, maybe Eternal could do it, so I don't have to display that to the world.
Sure, I can
um,
try that.
yeah. All right.
Epic.
So
You
hypothetically,
can DM me your email or send it to you in the voice channel or whatever.
yeah. Hypothetically, we are live. Yep. It looks as if we are. Look at that. Hello, Agma
Let's see.
says Maul Cooper or Nifnuff is here. You were
Yay.
silent when your
Oh,
face
live
cam came
streams are
up.
on a separate. I
Interesting.
keep refreshing the videos tab on your channel, and I was like, why is it not showing up? But the live streams are in a different tab now. That's why.
Yeah.
God,
Yeah,
kill
that would
us
do
you.
it. Oh man. Okay. Hang on a second. Yes.
Oh god, I never realized how
Wait. Hang
they
on. Hey,
treat
yeah.
this from real life.
Yeah. Oh my god. All right. Let us begin. So, who do we have here today? We have. We got. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves to the people?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, go for it.
Uh, um, I, I'm CJ. I'm just chilling. You can call me CJ. I know it says Charles, but yeah, you can call me that too if you want. And yeah, I'm just here.
Nice.
I'm just here. That's all I need to know.
I like it. I like it. All right, and then our craft photographer. You want to introduce yourself?
Sure, why not? Hi, I'm Peregrine. I'm known on the server as the Craft photographer because I have a way too good graphics card and I can take high-res images in Minecraft. That's literally the only reason I picked that because it's funny.
Oh man.
God.
Yeah, I'm also just here because I have nothing going on this weekend and I needed some entertainment.
There we go. And then Eternal, as if everyone doesn't know already.
Sure. I'm Eternal. I do tech support for Agma, maintain the website and the Discord server, and also manage the and the Minecraft server as well. I meant to say that first, but then I got a bit confused there. And I also generally try to make Agma's life as miserable as possible when it comes to pronouncing the languages we work on.
That is very
And
true.
I'm here mainly to ensure that I won't have to sit through um, 30 hours of listening to people explaining how they've managed to mangle the B movie script into something wholly unrecognizable ever again. That's the main reason why I'm here.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
that was abysmal. God.
That's the hope. And then leader.
Dude, I guess not much to say about me. I'm just Dylan or leader on the server, and I'm an admin there, but nothing else really,
There you go. Just like that. All right. Here we are. If you want to join, become a matron. Yeah. So here we are. The Curse Conlang Circus 3 announcement can potentially come out relatively soon.
Hmm.
We
God.
just have to figure out how we're going to do it because we cannot do it the same way that we did the Cursed Conlang Circus 2. That is
Yep.
abundantly clear. That cannot happen because there will be even more people than last time, and I don't want to spend Christmas week doing copious amounts of video editing again. Not
And
a third time.
also, we also don't want to spend all of September and October
Yeah.
watching submissions in 6 hour sessions, like 6, 7 of them ever again. God.
Gotta be grueling.
Yeah, no, it was rough.
Yeah, I
a
think you can
wild time.
tell if you watch the 3 videos. If you do, well, I'll be amazed honestly if you manage to sit through all of it, because it's 24 hours or something worth of footage. It's literally an entire day. But if you were to watch at least most of them, you'd be able to tell that by the end of them, our sanity is just like
Yeah.
Agnes said, went down the hill.
Yeah, we were down the drain by the end there. It was rough.
Damn.
Oh man. So we want to avoid that. So we have several ideas. We've had various discussions over the past several months, but so many people were having ideas and posting those ideas in various comment sections smattered all over the YouTube channel and on other people's submissions and in the Discord server and everywhere, that I just said, nope, we're making a form. And so I created a Google form and I posted it out on the community post on the Discord server. I was like, hey, if you have ideas for how you think the circus should be run, why don't you put it on in here? And so we got 253 responses, and we will probably not be able to look through all of them in great detail because I wanted to keep this to 2 hours, but I would like to look through things that may catch the eye and basically use those suggestions as a kind of kicking off point to really finalize how we want the circus to be, and it should be a good time. Yes.
I do love how Onifnuff in chat is saying Don DiMaggio was more perfectly timed than I thought. Yeah.
It really
God.
was.
You had 3 linguists in the voice chat who were agonizing over your syntax trees.
Oh my god. We really were. Those were beautiful, by the way. Absolutely legendary. So, yes, we want as many people to make languages and submit languages as possible, but we are going to certainly be streamlining how those submissions are processed through our system, and the format in which those submissions will have to be in order to keep the massive, enormous time constraints down. So, unless anyone has any other things to say, we might as well start looking at what some of these questions and responses were on here.
Sure, let's see.
So, let's see. So we don't need to go through people's names if they wanted them, obviously, but here we go. Should there be winners to the circus at all? And we got 78.3% yes and 21.7% no. And yeah, I think that's fair. I think it is cool that there are winners. Like, there don't need to be winners. It could just be a big old compilation of showcases, but it is kind of cool for the fact that, like, there could be winners and stuff, you know?
Yeah. Plus, it gives, like, people an incentive to, like, I guess, like, make something really, like, you know, instead it would just be, like, if there were any winners, it would just be, like, a showcase of a bunch of languages, which is still cool.
That is true.
Yeah, exactly. No, I agree.
Hello.
I agree. Oh,
Hello.
hey, Sam. How's it going?
Hi, Sayo.
Hi.
Let me lower your mic volume a little bit. You're a little loud. Don't change
Oh,
anything.
sorry.
You're good. All right, there we go. That's a little better. Boop. Anyway,
God.
back to it. We are currently, if you look at the shared screen, we're looking over the results of the Google form for the circus ideas. So yeah, I agree with the one about the winners. Yes, I had to kind of downgrade the prizes in the CCC2 versus the CCC1 because of how much freaking monetary value was being sent out with a freaking expired PO box. Like, there's no hope of me ever getting the stuff back. And then Babalingua ended up losing his, and yeah, so
Yeah,
good times.
that was
good
something.
times. But I do think
Also
having
because
winners is good.
Logistical nightmare.
Yeah.
Logistical
yeah.
nightmare. Also because Sayo, you joined late. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Oh yeah.
Hi. I'm Sal. I'm not actually a ŋatron, but I'm a mod on the server. English is my jam.
Correct.
While we're playing it, sure.
Honorary ŋatron.
Couldn't be said
Real.
any better. real, very real. All right, so because I kind of knew that this question would be answered in this way, but I just wanted to check what the
Yeah.
public sentiment was. For the next ones, I said, assume for the next few questions that there will be winners of the circus, regardless of
Which
how
makes
you
sense.
voted in the previous question. So, should the audience, should the scores be given? What the God, I can't read. Anyway, should the scores given by the judges determine the winners of the circus, or should the audience decide? And I gave a couple options here, and unfortunately, an other.
God, why did you give an
Oh.
other
I
option?
don't know. I
Christ,
forgot
you
about
should
that.
have learned not to do that from the last
I
census or the
usually
one
did.
before
I must
that.
have forgotten on this one.
What do you mean? Others
Apparently.
the obvious choice for comedy.
Oh yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Like,
It wouldn't be a
God.
cursed Conlang Circus without a scuffed forum.
with that just brutal pie chart right here. God.
a Pink
so,
Floyd album option.
Yeah, really. That's the whole prism right there.
They should go to another round of voting, SMH.
SMH.
You vote on the tiniest slices.
Oh my gosh. All right. So,
Right.
we have
So-
a plurality here for audience should decide finalists and judges should decide winners. Nearly equal with judges should decide finalists, audience
That's
should
not gonna
decide
happen.
winners.
That is,
So-
I will veto this option here and now. No!
You need to have like a Minecraft Hunger Games.
Why did you put that option on there, Agma? Just
Have them fight it
out of
out.
curiosity, why did you put that on there?
The reason I put that on there was because I've had the fan favorite option in both of the Cursed Conlang circuses, but those would be in the actual video after the awards were given. And I wanted to see if people felt strongly about the concept of voting for fan favorites before the big video came out, essentially.
I see.
So, which it depends logistically how we end up doing this one. If we have like a web page designed for like viewing and voting, or something that
Oh, God, you're gonna make me do more web development? Seriously?
Oh, God. no.
We'll do it all on the Discord server. That's the most they're gonna get.
Yeah, there you go.
Because
Perfect.
making it just in case it's not clear why it would be a pain to do that on the website, someone could just, I don't know, spin up a botnet of like 10,000 accounts and make 10,000 submissions. How do you prevent that?
This is true. This is very true.
Yeah.
Mail it to them. Like,
Mail-in ballots for the Cursed Conlang Circus.
Giving me
Everyone send
flashbacks
me
to the
your
election.
addresses. What could
God.
possibly go wrong? Yeah, and then we have 6 people voted specifically for just audience should decide, and 27 people said that just judges should decide. And so it looks like there is a preference here for the audience being involved in some way, and there are several methods that have been suggested below, because I did take a little sneak peek, and from what I've heard before, that could work with this preference here. Yeah, so there you go.
Before we look at that, presumably just one idea that I would have is that we could try and, I don't know, somehow make a giant poll with every submission, and then everyone can vote on that, and we would at least let the I don't know, we could do something like we will definitely look at the top 10 or 20, and then but judges can also just bring in more submissions if they want to, like if they're like, okay, I have this one and I maybe want to look at that or something.
True. I mean, it could even
And that
be
would
just
help.
like a giant Google form that's like editable, so that people can return to it whenever they want to. And that just like has a randomized order of the video, so that there's none that are going to be in the front all the time. We can hit like the
Yeah,
randomized
we'll have to
questions
see
also.
how exactly we do that or something like that.
Yeah.
No, that would make things annoying for like voting as you follow along.
Well,
maybe you have to like find it every time.
well, it's not.
What do you mean?
Well, the big video wouldn't have come out yet. That's the thing. We're saying like before the big video comes out, people will have a randomized list of various submissions to go through, and they can give rankings and stuff to it as they go along. So like this is before the big video comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Hypothetically. Lutronized been summoned. Anyway.
So,
Lutra
I
nerds.
suppose I wonder if we do go the route of the audience making the, I guess, kind of narrowing down the step before it gets to judges. I wonder if it might even be worth having 2 rounds of audience votes. If for no other reason, just to weed out what would probably happen in the first round. Everyone having 1 or 2 votes for 1,000 different things.
True. This is potentially true.
I suppose it depends on the volume of submissions.
Yeah. yeah. I guess.
That which can't remember how many submissions did the first and second one have respectively.
The first one was like 37, and the second one was like 120.
120, pretty much exactly, yes.
Yeah.
So.
So we could probably safely assume it'll be as much, if not more, than the second one. So
Especially with that
it would
Tom's
definitely be
gut
worth
shout out.
having some way to narrow it down.
Like, yeah, it could be as much as 200.
I think it'll probably be way more than the second one.
Yeah.
It could.
I'm not sure it will be way more because the second one was literally more than an order of magnitude than the first.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if it. I don't expect 1,000 submissions because if we do
Yeah.
get 1,000, I have no idea how we will even begin managing that. So I don't think it'll be
So,
that. But
Well, statistically speaking, that is the most plausible answer.
Oh god.
yeah,
I don't
finally
think that's
judging
what it will
CCC
work,
3
but
in
it is
2026.
going to be more than the CCC 2, pretty sure, because you've got more subscribers and the server is
Yeah.
bigger and everything. So
Yeah.
Very true. But that gets to some stuff that is involved in these next few questions here. So, so if we narrow down the submissions so that only a certain amount of top scorers are shown in the final video, how many submissions should there be in the final video? With
Another plurality.
yeah, we got another
I
plurality.
do agree with that
for-
too. Yeah.
for 30, and I do
I would
think
have hoped
30
for
is a pretty
30.
solid number because
Yeah.
the first Conlang Circus being 6 hours, I kind of think that was perfect.
Yeah.
That was like it was like an oh god that's a long video, but it was just one long video,
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
3 lasting longer than a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you
exactly.
can comfortably do this in 2 sessions, so that's not too bad.
I remember just scrolling through my YouTube feed and I see the video. It's like 6. That can't be right. Like, oh, it was right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Out of patience.
Yeah, but no, I do think that it should either be straight up like a top 30 or just whatever it takes to get within a 6-hour window. And I think a top 30 would probably be a fair way to make a cutoff.
Yeah.
Personally, yeah. So, and don't be scared that you're not going to get seen at all, because several of the ideas, like in order for this to work, there needs to be top scorers, which means that all the videos, either introduction forms of the videos or the videos themselves, depending on what we decide later on in this, will be seen by the people. So let's move on to the next one right here, which is another important one. What should the maximum video length for a submission be to save time but also allow for sufficient explanation? And it looks like we have an actual majority here saying
Very slim
10
one.
minutes.
10 minutes is interesting, yeah.
The
10,
slimmest
I
of
would say
majorities.
10 to
Yeah.
15 minutes seems reasonable, yeah.
Yes.
Like
would
if you
say.
have 10 minutes of a video and you're going 30, that would, and plus like I don't know, a couple extra minutes for each video, that would pretty much like perfectly
Yeah.
equal 6
6
hours.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's perfect.
Yeah, so if we're gonna match that time frame relatively, then boom, there you go. Or
15
no-
minutes of fame, except it's 10.
Yeah, exactly. You get your 10 minutes of fame.
I'm gonna write 5 to 15 minutes, which is a bit, or rather 15 minutes at most.
And of course, like some of the submissions really did benefit from being like longer than that. But what we want to do is essentially you could have your full length version. You could post that. You could always post to YouTube your full length, extremely in-depth evaluation. But I think that for whatever may end up in the final video, if you know, for being a hypothetical finalist, you should be able to contain and present your cursedness
N3.
in 10 minutes.
Hello.
Hey, it's N3.
Yep.
How's it going?
Plus, that like kind of encourages you to think about what are the most important things that you want to
Yeah.
talk about.
Yeah.
Which instead of just going on a ramble about your language in a video.
Yeah, exactly. It also
Oh, and
inspires
someone
maybe
in,
a little more time-saving editing too, because some I know a lot of the submissions, so you know, that people would leave like long spaces and stuff in there, and you know,
Yeah.
for our sake,
Yeah.
you know,
Someone
this would help.
in chat just brought up an interesting point that reading the text should not count towards the length of the video because I don't know, maybe your language is so cursed that reading it takes 2 hours, which we're not going to listen to all of that, but it's fine for that to be in the video.
I'm actually
So
I'm gonna write that down.
I've already written that down.
Okay,
I'm
cool.
already ahead of you.
Nice. Look at that teamwork. All right. So yeah, everyone think 10 minutes for the finalists' video is reasonable with that stipulation potentially included.
One of my ideas for a submission might take a little more on the long side because it's actually a dialect of another language.
Oh God.
I will say that there's, I think, two things that you can do if your submission has to be longer because there's just so much to go over. You could do either a part 2, meaning the video you submit is the first part, and then there's a part 2 that people can watch if they're interested in it. Or you can make your video a summary of the main video, which is like longer, depending on which works better for you. If there's like a good way to split it into 2 parts, then I would do the former. If not, then maybe the latter. So I think that
Depends how
depends
long
on
I
how your
ramble.
submission works. So what?
Yeah.
Depends how long I ramble.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and it depends on how your submission works. Like if there's, I don't know, here's 7 very cursed grammatical concepts that are in this language, which are in no way integral to understanding the fundamental principle of how it works, I would put those in a part 2. But if it's if it's like the Roptian video, which is like you could there's like this, or actually that one is also a good example because you could have put the mathematical explanation of how you get from all the matrices to something resembling a language, if you can even call it that. You could try and split that out into a separate video, because in the video they even said, like, if you're not too interested in the math, skip ahead to that. If you were to put something like that in a video, then I would just make that a separate video. Like the part 2 approach works good for something like that, I think.
Yeah.
But if you really can't split it, then I would suggest making a summary video, quote unquote, that doesn't have to be short. It can also be like 10 minutes if your full submission is like an hour or whatever. But we have to have a submission that is short enough for us to reasonably be able to look at a decent number of submissions without going insane. That's the point.
Yeah. And plus, like, you know, having multiple videos and reasons for people to click and engage with your channel if you're looking to become, you know, a Conlang YouTuber as well. That's a great way to give yourself a starting point with your traction, because a lot of channels have gotten like some pretty significant boosts from, you know, their cursed Conlang submissions. So
You remember
that would
the
be another way to
CCC
help
one
them.
where Babalingua overtook you in subscribers because of the Seraphim video?
Yeah, exactly. Babalingua got freaking like 100,000 plus, nearly 200,000 now views on that Seraphim video. And Kat Misberg's Goptiam has like nearly 100,000 as well. So it's like those videos did better than the Circus video itself. So it's like, you know, if you want to start a channel, this is a great way to do it. It's a great instigator. So yeah. Anyway, next question.
Hold on, I'm just writing this down real quick about the 2 approaches to making it shorter.
Okay. Yes. Let's see. Only
I guess,
a few more
while we're
hours
on
should
that,
become. Yeah, go for it.
Sorry. While we're on that, would it be worth having any sort of set minimum length for videos just to weed down on some of the lowest effort stuff? Or
I don't think there needs to be a minimum length.
Well,
if you
there,
can
there
present
were
it in
some
form.
that like had literally like barely anything in them. You know.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, those will kind of just weed themselves out naturally. Like, if your language, or if your submission is a language that has only one word, which is ah, and that word's meaning is the entire translation, and your video is 2 slides, one that has that word on it with the translation, and actually only one slide, even maybe one slide as the title, that video isn't gonna be longer than 5 seconds, so that will naturally just it also only takes 5 seconds to look at that, so it's not really a giant waste of time.
Yeah,
It was going to be
exactly.
manually discarded.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If someone
exactly.
actually manages, and I almost don't want to say it because someone might actually try and do that then, but if someone actually manages to make a 40-minute video about how your language that only has one word ends up meaning the entire translation, then we can probably just notice that too at some point in the video.
One
And if
word
not,
language
then
with
hey,
extremely
it's cursed,
cursed
there you
etymology.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You just send them a video of you manually dragging the file into the trash can. Like, just for ultimate pettiness.
Oh my god. Okay. This does partially get into this next question. Imagine a setup where we require every submitter to create a quick 1 to 2 minute preview video for their language, and then the longer video that we would display in the final video if they make it into the finalists. What effect would this have on the quality of the circus? And we have nearly a majority saying positive
Yeah.
effect, with 33% saying neutral, and only 17% saying negative effect. So the sentiment is overall that's either a good or neutral idea. What do you guys
Yeah,
think?
I do sort of agree with this too. Because even if a lot of people send in like 10-minute videos, those are still 10-minute videos, and you might think, okay, 10 minutes, that's not that much. I will tell you that I think the vast majority of the videos for the CCC2 were 10 minutes or lower. So, 10
Yeah.
minutes is still pretty long
Yeah,
overall.
exactly. If there's
And also
200 of
because
them, then you'd have 2,000
if there
minutes
are
to go through.
a ton of submissions, someone has to look at them. Need not be us, but someone does. So if there's just too much material out there, then people won't be able to review it. So I think a preview video or something might make sense.
I kind of have reservations about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that would encourage a thing where the preview video, a whole bunch of characteristics that would that would like add to the whole thing as supplemental stuff that's not necessarily related to the translation, but just general curseness that would gain it favor would be like crushed down or cut out for brevity.
That is
I kind of
potentially
agree with
true.
that.
That is kind of true.
My
Yeah, I
biggest
suppose it
issue
would.
with this
Yeah.
is like the fact that if you need to condense it into such a short video, you will have to cut things out that are kind of important, but you just don't have enough time to go over it.
This is true. This is true.
I guess
Also, I feel.
I have an idea too. Instead of making a 1 to 2 minute video, what if we require people to write, I don't know, basically an abstract? Like what if you're sending in a talk somewhere? So like 2-3 paragraphs describing more or less what it is about. You don't have to reveal everything, but just so people can read it and get the general vibe of what your submission is about.
Yeah.
You can even put that in the video description.
True. That is,
And
yeah.
put that in the description, for instance, or something like that.
I'm not sure if that exactly solves the problem.
Plus, it could be just kind of like limiting, like, because I feel like the visual part of it too is like effective in the content of the like preview itself. So
It's also true. Then maybe perhaps not necessarily a full description, but just like 2-3 sentences introducing people to whatever it is about or something.
Yeah, I mean,
because if you just have 30 videos with a title and maybe an image and no description whatsoever, then it might be hard to. I mean, the thumbnail kind of has a part in that too, but that requires you to be decent at graphic design, I suppose, which I'm not. So
What would the effect be if we changed the I guess limit here from 2 minutes to like 4 or 5? Like would
at
that
that point,
change
it's
anything?
pointless because then you can just watch the 10-minute video. Like 5 versus 10
Yeah.
minutes. I know it's double the time, but it doesn't really make that much a difference in the long run because either it's so short that 5 minutes more it's nothing, or it's already so long that it doesn't matter anymore. Like if you have 10
Yeah.
hours worth of footage, at that point it doesn't matter too much if it's 10 or 20 hours. Either way, it's too long.
I think it would
Right.
just be better to have the full videos for the audience voting and let people skim through it if they feel it's too long.
I guess
that
that's
is
also an
also
idea,
true.
yeah.
Yeah.
You don't
Or-
have to watch all of it necessarily. That's true.
Or, and I'm just kind of throwing something at the wall, YouTube Shorts.
I
Oh
mean,
God, no.
It,
think
it,
that's
it
not a good
can be
idea.
A lot
done.
of
It
YouTube
can be
Shorts.
done. I've seen it done before.
It can be
I'm
YouTube
done.
sure
Shorts
some
my
people
most
can
follows
do
it.
it. But first of all, people don't like shorts too much, and they're also a format that's hard to get right.
That's fair.
Because you only have like a minute or so to
Yeah.
convince people to be interested in what you're doing.
Like if the requirement of the preview video was 1 minute, then YouTube would by default make it a short unless you voluntarily unselect it as a short. So it technically already would be unless we go with the 2-minute marker. But yeah, I don't think, I don't know. I don't know if having it in the shorts category would be great. But I guess it wouldn't clog your channel's video list in the same way because
Not anymore, yeah, that is
because
true,
it could
but
be a separate short from like the actual video.
but yeah, I sort
yeah.
of agree with Sayer here that this sounds like it would be useful in theory, but I think it might be too hard to execute.
Yeah, because a lot of things in linguistics take time to explain.
Yeah.
So
Very niche
That's
subject.
the thing too, because like we were saying earlier, with I guess shorter times, kind of putting more complicated proposals or submissions at a disadvantage. Making it, max 1 minute short would kind of just compound that. So
Yeah, making it a short would be even worse than a preview video.
Unless you're literally Eminem, you probably can't fit complicated topics into a minute or two.
Yeah, I'm not sure how you could imagine a 2-minute preview video of Hoptiam or something.
Yeah, or even stuff, or even like Ultra French. Like how would we be able to explain why Ultra French is so bad? Within 2 minutes, like that. It was a process to explain that.
It's like trying to condense the history of Poland into a YouTube short. It doesn't work.
If you're trying to present like this preview video for Ultra French, it would just kind of fall flat.
Yeah. It just wouldn't work well.
Yeah. So I guess the 2 or 3 sentence kind of preface, and then if people skip through it, then maybe even like in their rankings they could label whether they skipped through it or not. Like there could be like an option or like a scale of some sort where they could choose like I watched the whole thing all the way through, or like I had to skip through sections of it, and that could contribute to like the score as to whether they get into the finalist rounds.
or actually
literally just take a screenshot of the YouTube analytics page. It's like, here's my proof. I have the receipts. Look at my retention rate.
Oh my god.
I guess before kind of going back to that idea of like having a checklist where people can say, for example, if they skip through something, that could maybe be a good way of going about at least an initial round of audience voting. Not so much a ranking, but just a kind of checkbox on or off, like did I like this language and so on.
Yeah, that could work.
Yeah.
And then from there, kind of have a cutoff point for the next round.
Yeah, but for the voting, one thing that I would do is, and I'm not exactly sure what the best way of doing this will be. I'll still have to think about that for a while, but I might have to write some code in the bot for that, because I do think the sanest way of executing this is to just do that on the Discord server, because at least then we can have some measure of control about how many submissions someone can make, so that they don't submit something with 100 alts on YouTube, or just 200, or like they connect to a VPN and submit 200 different things on a website. So
That does exclude people
Those,
who aren't on the Discord server from submitting.
that is true, but I don't really see a good way of doing that, because what I will propose is that people can vote for more than one language, like the system where you can select your top 5 or something like that. Because
Use
it's
this to
probably
drive
hard.
traffic to the server.
Because it's probably hard to just vote for one singular favorite, because at least I typically don't have a favorite anything really. I have like 3 things that I like more or less equally well. And I think
Right.
forcing people to choose a single favorite isn't really the best option. At least it wouldn't be for me.
That's why with the fan favorite vote, I just had it as like a checkbox of select all the ones you like particularly enjoyed. I didn't like have a limit on it or anything, and it just ended up being like the highest scoring ones in that.
That would be
ended
good
up
for a
voting.
first round, I think, at least.
Yeah, but we also wouldn't want people to be able to vote for everyone, because someone might just that will kind of defeat the purpose of being able to vote for something. So being able to
That
select
can be
everyone.
handled by later rounds.
Yeah, like well, while it is true that some people would vote for everything just to like spam it through, it wouldn't be everyone, you know. Like
as
Do
long
you
as we have a
underestimate
certain
how
cutoff
disruptive a single person with just a lot of bots can be?
Well,
If
yeah,
when-
Having the same vote
yeah.
for one thing is the same as having no votes.
Yeah.
Well,
Everyone-
yeah, but the problem is that it's easy to filter out percentages if there's like, oh, 37 people voted for this, 57 for that. But it's hard to do that when it's 100,003 voted for this, 100,020 voted for that, and 100,050 voted for that. Like I don't want to have to deal with that.
So if we
Send it to Congress.
if we based on just the sheer number of votes instead of percentage, that would kind of take care of that. And also going to the possible issue of somebody making a bunch of accounts to vote multiple times. Would a Google form have that same issue, or
Yes, because you can probably just make a bunch of accounts.
Well, yeah,
It's
but
hard to
that's a
do that.
process that's time consuming enough that probably wouldn't happen the same way it could with a Discord.
For Google accounts, I mean, for Discord, it's also time consuming to make a new account. Yeah, so again, how exactly we do that, we'll have to think about that a bit more. But the point is that that's going to be the general procedure. We have some way where people can vote for their like top 5 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly. And then the top 30 overall go into the finalist video. All right, and that was the last main question, and then we have an enormous series of longer
Also,
discussion points that we can go through.
Before we go to that, I'll be right back. Just a minute or two.
Nice.
Just so you know.
Yes, indeed. So it looks like overall, the current consensus is that yes, there should be winners. That the first round should be audience voted, and then judges will decide the winners based on the top 30 in a potentially 6-ish hour long video, where video submissions, or at least the submissions that will be in the finalists video, need to be 10 minutes long, and probably no preview video. Yeah.
Cool beans.
I think that's sounding pretty good so far.
That's cool.
Yes. Yes, indeed. N3 got that ASMR keyboard. Where were you the one typing earlier, N3?
Yeah, I thought I muted my microphone for that, and then I saw that comment, and I'm like, oh no.
Oh no.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
that was me. I'm the one that put that in the chat.
Okay.
Who the heck type it like that?
I was like, I'll tolerate it for a little bit longer, but we can't go on like this. It's like, I'm dying inside.
Yeah, sorry. My microphone is like physically touching my keyboard because of the way it's set up. So it's just like whenever I type, it's just unusually loud. Sorry about that.
I have to put
I
my
kind of want to
input
see that setup now.
I have to put my input
Hang on, yeah, I'll take a
sensitivity all the
picture.
way down because if I don't, then it won't pick up my microphone at all. It's really weird. That's why I'm always green, by the way.
Oh, dude, my old mic was like a headset mic, and it always picked up my fan moving, no matter how slow it was. So either my room was burning, or it sounded like a hurricane to y'all, and I couldn't handle it, so I had to get a new mic.
There you go.
Because I have a
doing an
higher order of
impromptu
mod, I
setup
can mute
reveal?
other mods.
Real. Okay,
Muted.
I
Hotspot.
posted a picture of what it looks like in the like PC chat thing.
Oh, that's your mic?
Oh no, people are gonna email me.
Oh yeah, yeah, I'm not gonna show it. I can't do it. Oh my god, you almost got me there.
Quickly, what is it? Hide the message.
But
Oh my god.
also,
Dark
one thing I forgot to mention earlier with the whole setup video thing. I feel like a good 25% of the setup videos would just have Subway Surfers gameplay on the side or Minecraft parkour, and I don't know if that would increase the quality of the submissions.
It's just a social experiment in the middle of the Conlang show.
Now they say that it would be halfway tempting to find some way to incorporate that into a Curse comment.
Yeah, really. Make freaking Subway Surfers and Minecraft parkour videos incorporated into the phonology of the language.
You don't get Reddit commentary.
If you can somehow make that a language, then go ahead.
There's an idea for you. Call it brain rot, and that'll be it.
New dialect to joke line too.
It's
Subway Surfers, Minecraft parkour, and Reddit commentary phonology.
The different maps and whatever game you're playing determines information. So you have one part of it's just Trackmania, and then you got the GTA where you're falling down the cliff or whatever.
Yeah. Or the one with the hammers that hit the cars off.
Yeah. And then there's that one thing on YouTube.
That is shitty mobile game dialect.
Yeah.
Where they just put a really low resolution video of themselves just somewhere on the video.
Ask me anything is a tense.
All right. Let's get to the submission, shall we?
Let's see what some people have said.
Jesus Christ.
Woo!
I love the juxtaposition of that.
Yeah, that is IDK is the next one.
Yes.
Oh man.
So capital letters, people, please.
I will. I'll read this. We're not going to be able to read all of them, obviously, but since this first one is so detailed, sure. The Conlang submissions will be voted in on a live stream by the audience. I don't know about that. I don't think that's even possible.
Too logistically challenging.
Yeah, YouTube polls only allow for, what was it, 4 or 5 options?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
so that would be pretty much impossible, or just very difficult, unless you use some very mods and stuff that I don't know. They will rank and add the points to the core structures in the grid to increase the rank. Oh god. The structures consist of concept, execution of parts, and consistency. Remember the preview that explains the general concept in only 2 minutes? Well, I plan to use that differently. The voters will vote on how interesting they think the concept is before they watch the full video. And then after they watch the full video, they'll rank the other 2. Oh god, 3 videos? Wait.
Too complicated.
That's getting a little convoluted for because we want as many voters as possible.
And besides, we've thrown out preview videos anyway.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Exactly. So
And I also will say that consistency is kind of missing the point. If you're writing a cursed Conlang, it doesn't need to be consistent, as long as it's still cursed.
Yeah, as long as it's still a language.
A form of curseness.
Yeah. So, yeah, that one, there's a couple aspects of that make it kind of impossible. IDK, yeah, me too.
Yeah.
That's the winner right there.
Full audience applause.
Let's see. Moderation panel of ŋatrons. Every video should be watched in full off camera by whoever's available.
Yeah, we've seen how that works.
Yeah.
That's even cut your voter base in
multiple
half.
days of just pain.
Right. Let me explain to you why that doesn't work. For the CCC2, we had, I think, 6 or 7 sessions spaced out, each of them on a weekend. The weekend is when people are typically available, in case I need to explain that part. For every session, except the first and the last, the only people in the call doing reviews were me and Agma. Everyone else said, we had at least 3-4 other people in Big Lang that said they were going to join at some point, maybe. But as it turns out, for about 2 months straight, they never had time for this.
Yep.
So how do you propose this is going to go?
Well,
at all.
Well, this person's saying off camera by whoever's available, basically saying that on our own free time, go out, watch all the videos over the course of a time span.
Maybe if we're being optimistic, we have 10 ŋatrons that are reasonably active. That's already being optimistic. That would be active enough to do this regularly. Do you want to tell them that they have to look at, in total, 200 or 300 videos?
Oh, man.
10 minutes each.
Here's your homework, guys.
I already tell you that is not going to work.
Thanks for giving me $3 a month. Now here's 100 hours of homework to do.
Yeah.
You should pay me to do that, not the other way around.
I mean,
yeah.
I would love to contribute, but God, I can't do that.
I was gonna
go
say
insane doing it. Trust me. This is not good for your mental health.
It wasn't. It really wasn't. Oh,
you could bribe them and be like, "Hey, if you do this, you'll get this Dr. Pepper in the mail," and then send them a can of Dr. Pepper.
Bro, somebody's gonna ask me how I'm doing after I watch all those videos, and I'm just gonna start spewing facts about random languages.
Yeah, you just turn into those videos
my eyes
did you
twitching.
Know? I'll send you each a $10 Google Play card for completing your 100 hours.
In 3 months.
Yeah, that's gonna be me.
Yeah, not only is the problem that it would be a lot of work, but we'd probably be still working on the CCC3 next year, because I can tell from experience that if you tell just one person to do a bunch of stuff on their own, they're not going to get it done. Agma can attest on that. For you. Yeah. He's been working on translating 300 JSON files since 2021. He's still not done.
God damn it.
I told him he started doing that in 2021. He's still not done. He's done maybe 20 of them in the 300, just because it's too goddamn boring of a task.
It is. It's an extremely boring task.
I told you that ChatGPT can actually help you with that. Take some data that's in a random format and translate it to JSON. It does a surprisingly good job at that.
Online Discord
lesson here is that if you give someone an extremely either boring or tedious task, or both, they're not going to do it.
Yeah. It's
keep reminding Agma about this every year, but we'll maybe get it done by the end of the decade.
We'll see. All right.
I swear, if you ever come visit me, I will strap you to this chair and not unbind you until you're done with it. God.
I swear, all the times that I tried, I'd be 1.5 pages in, and then I would have an idea for something really cool, and I'd be like, "Oh, I gotta go do that," and then it's just I think
that's generally called ADHD, but you do.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, speaking of getting off topic,
yes. Well, it was sort of on topic, but let's get back to this.
So, this one says, judges should score all submissions asynchronously first. So, same thing that we just talked about a second ago.
Yes.
All is going to be a challenge. And then after the scores are done, finalists can be presented to the audience in a poll for the Viewer's Choice Award. The watch party can just be to announce the winners, presenting those videos, and allowing the judges to comment on the choices.
Vote now on your phones.
I will say maybe people being able to comment on the choices, or maybe having some like a recap live stream after, which I think we do anyway, is not the worst idea. But I don't think the actual video should be a live stream.
Yeah,
or I'm not sure it could be.
Live stream would be rough. And also, if it was a live stream, it wouldn't be on the list of normal videos on the channel.
That's true.
And thus it would be like way less likely to get the same level of like, you know, algorithm traction and thus overall promotion of, yeah, exactly. So having the actual literal thing be a live stream, unless I wanted to take the live stream and then, you know, go in and edit it and then republish it as a normal video, which I'm sure a lot of people do. But I don't really want to do that, personally. I want it to be done when it's done.
We got a comment from Jesus in chat. Can a channel time out Agamashuya for getting off topic? I can't do that, but I could mute him on Discord.
Oh my god.
That's about it.
Don't you dare. Oh my god. Okay. Anyway, so no clue. Yeah, thank you.
No clue. Well.
Extremely productive response.
Tiny preview videos for every language in one video. We kind of already kind of
right. Already, again, people, every submission, that is going to be like 200 to 300 probably.
Yeah.
Maybe more. But, like, even if we have 200 2-minute segments, and we've already said that we're not going to do the 2-minute segments, that would be 400 minutes, which is 6 hours.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So, this one here is kind of more along the lines of what we've been starting to lean towards. Judging should be split up into batches and judged by different groups asynchronously so as to get more judging done, right? So not everyone has to end up seeing every single one of them, though I do think it should be random and not like specific batches to specific people, just to avoid bias in the data. Once all the languages are done being reviewed in the batches, then the 25, 30 best languages across all the batches could get re-reviewed by all or a quorum of judges at once. I did consider putting a time limit on the submissions that would start the judging. I just don't feel as though it's scalable. Well, we kind of talked about that already. But
time limit helps. We definitely need that. Otherwise, we're going to go insane regardless. But it alone doesn't work because again, if we have 200 submissions that are 10 minutes each, so there's 2,000 minutes. 600 minutes is 10 hours. So that will be 35 hours.
Oh god.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. And again,
10 minutes like sound like a lot until you have 200 of them.
Yeah, exactly. And again, you could always say that you have a full-length version available.
I'll be back in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
The thing is also, not only can you say that you have a full-length video, but maybe we might even include the full-length version if it's like in the top 3 or something.
Yeah, exactly. That would be reserved for like the very top. Yeah. That makes sense. Maybe that might be worth writing down. That maybe like if there are full length versions that exist beyond the 10-minute requirement, like the top 3 or 5 could get their full ones shown. Maybe. Yeah, we'll see. All right. For each submission, the judges should react to the explanation video and then give an initial score. And then once all the submissions have been watched, the judges could check their scores and change if they want and decide a winner. That would be 2 judgings. That would be 2 judgings instead of 1 judging with... Oh, God.
Yes, the reason why this isn't going to work is because I'll tell you how it is. My memory, at least, isn't the best. So if I've seen 100 submissions, I'm not going to remember every detail about all of them, especially not about the first ones or the ones in the middle. So I wouldn't be able to rejudge them without watching all of them again, which kind of defeats the point of this, because it's trying to get us to do less work.
Yeah.
So judging it twice is a non-optional.
Yeah, exactly. I know it might be a pretty bad idea, but imagine ranking finalists in a bracket, like like a tournament style.
March Madness.
Well, okay, well, there could potentially be a meritable way to do that. It would be.
I mean, like the fan favorites that you have, but I'm not sure if that would just be more work than just having people select the top 10 or the top 5 or whatever.
Someone in the chat a while ago suggested to put all of the finalists into the Hunger Games simulator.
Yeah,
It's just random selection at the end.
I saw that too. Yeah, randomly.
Oh my god.
We can do like we could do that in a live stream after or something. But
that would be a fun live stream actually. But yeah.
I'm gonna write it down actually. You know what? Not the worst of the year.
This would be my first cursed Conlang circus, so I have no idea what to expect. Nice.
Incredible.
Perhaps there could be multiple categories which languages could win a top spot in. I mean, we already kind of have that with like the special categories or whatever, which I want to still do. Yeah, if not make them mandatory, that could be another thing to talk about. But yeah, let's see.
I kind of don't. Again, I mentioned this already last year, but I kind of don't feel too strongly about making them mandatory, the categories.
Yeah. I don't either. I like having them as an option, just so so people who may not win literal first place could potentially win for their best execution of a wacky side concept. But yeah. So we already kind of had that. Structure it as though I'm inside your walls right now. Oh god.
Oh god.
Oh god. Ah!
That means you're gonna do all the work, sure.
Yeah. My wall person does the work for me.
Wall Ratatouille.
My wall Ratatouille. Yeah.
Wall demon, what is your judgment?
Like, score this language, wall man.
I do love Eliza's comment in chat. A tournament is the worst idea. It must be done.
The most cursed strategy possible to judge the cursed
I will
languages.
say there is something about having the winners of the cursed Conlang Circus are decided in a cursed way, but also this is about making less work for us, which I've said already like 10 times already at this point, but still.
Yeah, exactly. All right, and so this one talks about the preview of videos, and think the entries need to have time limits. I'm cautious about significantly limiting the number of entries that get into the video. Obviously, a limit needs to be put in place, but I wouldn't make the limit too low. I mean, like, yeah, that's fair. It's an opportunity for small creators and community members to get a moment in the spotlight and show off one of their creations to an audience that is there waiting for them. Seems to me it would be a bizarre choice to limit the number of conlangs that would end up being looked at in the final video to something as low as 30 or less. Such a plan would, in my estimation, greatly limit not only the views that the final video would have, but more importantly, it would impact overall community interest in the CCC3, both within and outside the community. Mustn't forget the sheer scale of these videos is a large part what makes it so attractive to community members and outsiders alike. I agree, but also, I'm only one human.
There's only so much that can be reasonably done.
Yeah, unless I, like, put all of the barely any savings that I have into, like, hiring a full-time team to, like, like, ram through all of it. It's not going to be physically possible. Like, like, again, I totally get the sentiment, and I wish I could just keep on expanding it infinitely like that forever, but it is literally impossible. So there has to be constraints applied. Like, there has to be. And while yes, I get that, like, say there's like 300 people who made submissions, right? And the Curse Conlang Circus 2 altogether, add those 3 videos together, got like 70,000 views, right? So I don't think it's gonna severely impact the algorithm performance if you know, only finalists get into the final video, because it's still a big event, and all the videos are going to be all over YouTube anyway, so it's still going to be a web of content, like a whole wave of algorithm for everyone to see all of the submissions. You know, like the video that goes onto my channel is just like the big final celebration of it all, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see there being a problem with the final video that goes on my channel being limited to 30 submissions, because all of the submissions are going to be everywhere, and I'll have a playlist visible on my channel with all of them on it, and they'll just be there. They'll always be there. So it's like, yes, they won't be in the final compilation because they didn't get into the finalists, but it's not like they're not around, and it's not like the algorithm won't be able to get at least several of them into the spotlight and create that whole web. So, yeah. Rant over.
Yeah, as you said, it's just not tenable for us to look at every submission. That is not going to work, no matter how. Like, there's no way to make it work anymore.
Yeah, and yes, as Fresa said, a playlist sounds like the best approach. If you're not aware, there are playlists for, you know, both existing Curse Conlang circuses. In this case, the initial round would likely have a playlist set up on my channel of all of the submissions, and then, you know, and it would just be a beacon for people to be able to just watch all of them. Algorithm will help it out. Some of them will get super popular, others won't, but they'll be on the playlist. Boom, they'll be there.
Like a link in the YouTube community post and in the Discord.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that is sufficient to counter what is definitely a very true statement and a sentiment that I relate with, but yeah, again, it's literally impossible for me to expand the scale beyond what the second one was. So yeah,
the second one was already way too large.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'll still say that it was funny large, but if we go beyond that level, that goes beyond funny large. That is, oh god, I'm never gonna get through this large.
It's torture large.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, both we and also the viewers are not gonna get through 6-hour videos. Like, I do watch a 5-hour video every once in a while. Like, just I think yesterday or the day before, I watched the 2 5-hour Joseph Anderson videos about The Witcher 1 and 2, which I do once every year or so. But you can't expect people to just watch 6-hour videos about Conlangs in a row or ever.
Yeah.
Bro, I can't even get through an hour-and-a-half long podcast recording. Like, that's that's a little much.
Through the 26-hour watch party because I don't care about my sanity.
Some people do care about their sanity.
Yes.
I don't.
Speaking of dwindling sanity, I'll be right back. Gotta take care of the baby.
Sure.
All right. Yeah. So, with that,
It has that my sleep schedule still has yet to recover.
It's gone. It has vanished.
Also, because someone asked, will they announce the finals before the video, or will it be a surprise? They will be revealed in the big video.
Yeah, it'll be revealed in the big video, and
also, if we do some, just a quick comment, if we do the voting thing, I would prefer it if we manage to do it in a way where people can't see how many votes there are for other things.
I agree.
Just so that doesn't impact anything.
At least not until after it's over. Then, like, afterward, we'll open it up to the public. But yeah. So, yes. Alright. How about, just in case we run out of time, how about we... I'll remember this one right here. Similar to the previous two, I just like watching awful inventions on Agma's channel. Let's scroll to the bottom so that we don't... so that we'll counter off the bias here. Get some ones from the bottom in here. Alright. Oh god. I'd like to elaborate on the last question a little bit. First, it depends how it's done. 1 to 2 minutes is not a whole lot of time. Yeah, okay, we got that part. Alright. As far as how the circus is actually structured, first of all, you got to get more judges involved, especially for the pre-finals round. As we said, that's probably just going to be straight up the audience, you know, the people. let's see, have a document or a spreadsheet of some sort, all the initial submissions, and involve volunteers from the Discord. If you do judging and votes via Google Forms, a mandatory question asking for the judge's Discord username could be a good measure to keep people from voting for their own submissions. That way your pool of judge candidates remains as large as possible. That's something to consider. Though, again, that's the question of whether to limit to Discord users or not. I feel like it should be open to everyone if possible, especially if we do it on a Google form. That won't even be an issue.
Yeah, I try to not access Discord if we can avoid it.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Maybe we'll see.
Yeah. Also, I think a categories approach to make the circus better, like Grammy Awards or something. And again, optional, yes, but most hilarious, most uncomfortable, most horrifying grammar, most horrifying phonology, most creative, best executed. That's kind of cool though. Mm-hmm. There could be honorable mention categories for things like sign languages, orthography, music langs, even one for which one snuck in the most references or jokes, but that one may be difficult to accurately judge. The most horrifying ones could easily be collapsed into one category if there's a language that does both as well. Most hilarious, most uncomfortable, most horrifying could be the grand prize categories, while the others get varying levels of second or third place equivalent prizes. Interesting. Though, of course, there very well could be better categories that I'm just not thinking of right now. But the idea is to avoid a large number of categories, creating a financial burden for AGMA giving out prizes. Yeah, correct. For the finalist round, I think Big Lang should do the judging.
The problem with the prizes is that like last time with the rock things, it caused the whole situation where a whole bunch of people put rocks in there just to have them.
Yeah, this is true, but we didn't put them in that category. If they just had a mention of a rock and a rock wasn't actually incorporated in the language, we didn't even include them on that category because it didn't count.
I do agree with.
But I still think that lowers the general quality of the submissions.
I do agree with Tay on that we probably want to avoid a situation where someone just mentions rocks a million, like I'm not a million, but like every video has a 5-second mention of rocks, because it kind of is a bit pointless and it might get annoying after a while. So we're probably gonna have optional categories, but I would like for you to mention that just mentioning rock or something is not going to count. You have to actually make an integral part of your language about the feature.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm sure some people will still not listen to that, but it would at least lower the rate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. And then,
also,
yeah.
I was thinking for the prizes to lower the amount of money you have to spend on it. What if we gave out the prizes on the Minecraft server?
Well,
and
so if all of the winners were Minecraft server players, that would be cool. But we can't.
That's unlikely.
Yeah, we can't expect the winners to even be on the Discord.
I would say we shouldn't be focusing on the prizes too much, because that's not really what this is about. It's always nice to give out prizes, but I don't think it's really necessary in any capacity.
Yeah.
The prizes are never going to be so good that you're doing this for the prizes.
Yeah, exactly. I'll send you out an envelope worth of prizes. The prizes this year, I made sure that they were able to fit in a normal envelope, so I wasn't spending hundreds of dollars just to ship them around the world. But yeah, which is what happened last time.
Winning is a prize in itself.
Yeah. I ate a pancake this morning. Good. I like pancakes.
Good for you.
How many mornings ago was this taken?
Pancakes are delicious.
This was roughly 70 mornings ago. There's approximately still about 2 billion atoms from that pancake in that person's body.
7 mornings ago.
I want to know what that pancake thinks about this.
That is the real question.
The pancake had a
What does
family,
the
man.
pancake think about the CCC3?
Pancake official interview.
It's just post-game
Close that
NBA
pancake
interview.
with mind.
It's like a post-game press conference with
Yeah.
a pancake.
Somebody's gonna make a pancake curse Conlang now.
Great.
Your language
I can
must
see
be
like 4
spoken
people
with
already
pancakes.
discussing it.
Right,
Yeah.
let's get back on topic.
Anyway, yeah.
Right.
Let's see what this one says. To make the amount of submitted entries as low as possible, which is to not make it so hard to judge, there should be a link to a forms document in the Discord server. Again, trying to avoid keeping it exclusively to the Discord server, but let's see where this goes. Where you have to submit a video about your Conlang as well as additional information. Depending how many videos there are, the judges could decide the finalists, and the winners will be chosen by the viewers, or the viewers can vote on the first set of videos, and then the judges after that. The viewers can decide the winning candidate. To save time, the time limit on your video should be implemented. Also, all Conlangs have to be made specifically for the Curse Conlang Circus 3, meaning you can't submit another older project. Yeah, I mean, that was already a rule for the second one. I don't think a theme is necessary, since it's always fun to see a bunch of different ideas. Optional themes. Do try to have a bunch of Conlangs in the final video. This is just so the video won't be too long and too difficult to make. A lot of that we already kind of covered. So, this person likes the idea of the preview short videos to help narrow down the Conlangs featured in the circus proper. May also help to have some quality gating, as some of the videos were tough to get through on account of the audio quality or even just lacking direction. Now, yes, but if we have audience voting through and we incorporate, engagement in the video into the questionnaire in ranking each one of those, hypothetically, if we did it that way, that would be covered for.
I will say on that note, there's a few things that I would like to point out that we should also include as rules. First of all, the submissions have to be in English. We're not allowing submissions in some random dialect of Spanish again that only Agma can barely understand.
Yeah, sorry, MHMD. Yes, I speak Spanish, but we can't expect the entire audience to. We're
Solo un
Yes.
poco.
Yeah. That's point one. Point two is the audio quality has to be not horrid, because there was some where we had to turn off the audio and just look at the slides, because our ears would have started bleeding otherwise. Like, the production quality doesn't have to be the best thing ever, but at least the audio has to be somewhat reasonable. Like, if there's a lot of background noise or if it's barely audible, then that's just not going to work, I'd say.
There should be a pancake category.
Oh god, we're back at the pancake thing.
the pancake grammatical anyway.
Yeah.
IDK whatever the next person says, and then like a game jam.
Interesting.
I am a programmer, but I'm not terribly familiar with game jams because I don't really do game development, so I can't comment on that one too much, unfortunately.
Yeah. Oh god, this is a long one here. Fan favorites felt like a popularity contest. I mean, yeah. Yeah.
True.
That's what it is.
That is the definition, yes.
Yeah.
High view count means an automatic high ranking. Not necessarily, but in general, yes. Only the people that saw your video could call it their favorite. It felt unfair to run voting as if every submission had been seen equally. Now that is a fair statement. Counterpoint, the fan favorite doesn't really impact anything in the long run. And it is, generally about, the amount of impact it had on the overall vibe of everything, I guess. I say this out of spite, by the way.
It's getting a lot of views. Then wouldn't it kind of be? There's a reason behind why it's getting really popular, probably.
Well, there were a lot of really good ones that got no views. You can't ignore the fact that the algorithm is a cruel beast.
I think something that could help with that is to make it so people have to put Curse Conlang Circus entry in the title or something, because I made a completely new channel with my submission last year, and usually on my channel I get like 10 views, but I put Conlang Circus entry in that one video's title, and it got almost 500 views just from that.
Yeah, so. Exactly. So again, if you do that, and it probably would be a good idea to require that it either says CCC3 if it's a long video title, or Conlang Circus 3 if it's a shorter video title. You know, I think that might be something worth remembering, because that will 100% help your algorithm performance on like the video itself, regardless of the voting system that we implement. So that is a good idea.
CC3 in the title. That's maybe a thing that we should. I will write it down. You should mention that.
Yeah. Again, yeah. Let's see. And then this person doesn't like the idea of a preview video. Okay, neither do we. I'm partially opposed to a time restriction. The winning submission was over 30 minutes. We already talked about that whole thing. And again, make your full video as long as you want, but the 10-minute one is the one that would get into the finalist video, right? And then final idea, threaten to dock points for submissions which are clumsily or slowly conveyed. Things such as long pauses without talking. This might cause people to make their submissions more concise or higher quality. I would love to, in some way, dissuade people from doing that. I don't know if literally taking points off is the way to do that, but yeah.
First, we already have an execution category, which, if your submission is, let's just say, poorly produced, will get points deducted. That's already a thing. Secondly, I think that kind of goes hand in hand with the last thing I mentioned, that the audio quality / production quality has to be decent. So it's not like you have to put a bit of effort into editing the video or something like that. Or if maybe you're so good of a speaker that you don't need to have any cuts, but then I want to see you talk for 10 minutes straight without any large, huge pauses. Like, because you're supposed to edit those out. Because not only is it tedious for the judges if we have to look at that, but also for the audience.
Yeah, exactly. Jesus says, tag your CCC3 videos with #pancake.
Oh,
oh no.
No. Oh man. Okay. All right. Let's see. What else? What other things do we got here? It should be alphabetical order for names. No. That's how. Well, actually, no. It was randomized the first time, and then it was in submission order the second time. Alphabetical order would because that wouldn't be fair to the people with languages that start with later letters, and if people knew that it was going to be in alphabetical order, they would all make their languages start with A.
Or just put A in the as the very first letter in the video title.
Make your language just be a singular space. There is no way you could make it rank higher than that, because that is the first printable ASCII character. Anyway, we're going to do submission order again, I'd say.
Hello.
Yes, indeed. All right. Oh, hey, how's it going, Suki? All right, let's. Anyway, so my idea would be to just steal the idea of something similar that involved a similar issue. The math YouTube channel. 3 blue, 1 brown. Okay, runs a big math video competition. Yeah. They have a fancy bit of code that runs and gives viewers sets of videos to vote on. They then aggregate the votes together to find the winners. The code they use is publicly available on GitHub. Interesting. I don't know if that will be helpful for us, but that might be a link worth saving.
Sure, hold on. Let me take a look at that. Where is the...
I'll just
can you
paste
give me a link to the form? Okay, that also works.
Yeah, I'll just paste it in here. Oh, dang. Doc's getting big.
Alright,
there you go. Alright.
What is this?
Come on.
TypeScript and Svelte. I see what it is.
Alright.
Take a look at that at some point.
Yes. Alright, definitely.
We'll need it, but...
Hey, same thing right here. Just mentioned the 3 blue, 1 browns math competition. Rudimentary ranking. I think another issue you have to tackle is how to filter out low effort simple entries, because there were a few that were basically relexes. True. I don't know. It's hard to balance the strike between cursed and understandable, because on the other hand, you have kitchen sink conlangs that are utterly incomprehensible.
Yeah.
Some possible grading criteria: presentation. Honestly, some
That's kind
entries
of
I couldn't
weird,
understand at all last year. Clarity, not likely flashiness. Cursedness, yeah.
Execution category that was kind of that.
Yeah, exactly. Partially. Theming. Let's see. Best example of the seas. Using favorite nature sounds. Alien.
Bird jump scare.
Yeah. Bonus. I didn't really think isolates really worked last year because many said they're inspired by isolates, but I don't think it was clear to me. Okay. The rock was okay with the rock stacking language. Theming bonus is fine for anything because it should be easy to identify.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I think a lot of that is fair. CCC should be in the form of a bracket.
Not again. God.
Oh man. Oh man. All right.
Whoa.
This is my comment I wrote a week ago, so I just copy and pasted it here. Why don't you divide the submissions viewing time equally amongst all judges?
Also,
yeah.
Just a small comment because someone in chat is asking about that. Yes, it is pronounced ASCII.
Yeah. Yeah. Since most of the circus is dominated by Nga and Eternal anyway, which we're trying to avoid this time, which takes a heavy toll on them, and most of the other judges were already at the scene. We want more Babalingua. The place where I come from, Skibbity lovemaking zone. we proudly hyphenate it as Babe Lingua. I'll take
a server name.
It'll take a huge load off yours and Eternal's backs, combined with my hatred of unnecessary duopolies. Maybe you want to suggest this?
Oh, God.
Just to have different judges, including yourself, recording and viewing different submissions. Well, okay, we already talked about how this is going to work.
Well, yeah, but the actual submissions that we go over, we should record in groups, not individually.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
How the rest works.
Yeah. And the ag maternal dominance, and then is that our ship name? Like,
no.
And then for some submissions, you could all congregate and view it together, like at the final view or something. I mean, maybe it's not something like that potentially, because I do like having our reactions included in the viewing, even if it is for a finalist video, kind of.
Yeah, it's what makes the watch party fun.
Exactly, because it's a watch party. We're partying. Even though it was like 30 hours of partying for me and Eternal last time.
Yeah.
If you want, you can still have an unfair edge and watch slightly more submissions than the rest.
Also,
this is your channel. Yeah.
What I might suggest is that I know we've had the big Lang members be the judges for the last two circuses, but it seems that they don't typically have too much time, so we can maybe ask some of our mods to help with that too. At least be there so we have more people than just us two.
I think that might be nice. Like, since the Ŋatron chat is populated with Ŋatrons, the 3 channel members and moderators, y'all could be the pool if you want to join us for that. It'll be way less time consuming. It could actually be a party. But yeah. We could do it in one day. Imagine that. Oh, it would be like 6 hours.
Why? What's impossible?
Well,
1 6-hour recording.
Yeah, exactly. We'll think about that. That's it. Bye. Let me know what you think. Bye. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. No,
I could potentially like rate some submissions.
Yeah, like it could be fun.
Yeah, I'd be willing to help with that as well.
Yeah.
If I was at all given the invitation to, I would gladly contribute to rating. I love doing that sort of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Could be a benefit of becoming a Ŋatron. I could go and break the fourth wall and say, hey, public, you wanna help judge the finalist round in the circus? Oh, become a Ŋatron.
Pay me money.
Maybe not everyone, because if we end up getting more ŋatrons, we can't do the judging with 30 people in a call. That also
yeah,
doesn't
that's
work.
true. I mean, we wouldn't get all 30 at one time, but
I
yeah.
think there should probably be like an individually vetted thing, even if you are a ŋatron.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
and yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
What I will say is we should probably do it in some VC on this Discord server rather than on Big Lang, and if some of the Big Lang people want to join, they can come on this server.
Yeah.
Because the thing is that if this year I don't think many more Big Lang members will have more time than last year. It's unlikely.
Yeah.
So
it seems like we're all just getting busier.
Yeah.
But yeah, good times. Good times.
All right. All the Big Lang people.
The Big Lang.
We can also like announce or set the judging date a bit more ahead of time so people have more time. Not say maybe like, hey, we'll do it next week, but maybe like on this day that month we'll do it or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Again, with it being just finalists, 30, 10-minute videos, hypothetically, it would be way easier to get people to justify.
But again, and what I want to preface is that maybe or probably not all ŋatrons are going to be able to join or going to get to join, but we might have help from some of the mods on ŋatrons maybe because we have a bit more people online at least.
Yeah.
What do we do about like mods and ŋatrons that have submissions of their own?
So typically that disqualifies you from being a judge.
Yeah, that's what we've done the past 2 times. So is if you have a language in it, you're not a judge.
I don't plan on competing.
Also that I think that rule probably only makes sense if your submission is in the top 30 or whatever, because if it isn't,
there you go.
What are you gonna do? Downvote everyone else if yours isn't on it to begin with? Like that's not gonna happen probably. So
most downvoted one wins.
Just a deep-seated rage.
As a threat.
You can count on me to not have a conflict of interest, given that I hypothetically become a judge, because I'm never going to make a submission. I'm not competitive.
Judge material.
Yeah. Being disinterested isn't a problem if your submission is not in the top 30. If it is, then that's a different story. In that case, we could also just disqualify them from being able to vote on that submission. Maybe that's going to be enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Since if we allow them to be a judge, you could probably trust them to not try any funny business.
Yeah, that's also, we'd probably only allow the people to be judges that we already know a bit longer and that we have faith in or won't do any nonsense, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. This comment right here is pretty much what we're kind of leaning towards as time goes on. The audience can vote on who moves to the final round, where the top will be decided by ŋunco. Maybe it could submit it on some form, blah blah blah. That's pretty much kind of the direction we're going at this point. Oh man.
Oh god, wait until someone like submits an actual linguistics paper.
Yeah. Oh my god. Preview video suggested would greatly take away from the cursiveness. Yeah, I gotcha. I think there could be a doc that has the 1 to 2 minute previews mentioned above for a large number of submissions. Again, probably not gonna do that. I don't have any game-changing ideas, but I'd really like to see the previous winners as special guests or even judges. I'd be okay with that. Let's see. I like the idea of a larger community. The Discord, presumably, choosing a certain number of finalists. We already talked about that. It's come with some drawbacks, like not enough people submitting for a particular category, so it's noticeably worse quality overall, which I guess could be an issue, but I have a feeling we're going to have an ample supply to go with. I don't know, yeah, and it's not like I'm going to have like 15 optional categories. It's going to be just like 2, like last time.
2 or 3 maybe, yeah.
Yeah, got it. Oh god.
Also, just
what is this?
I want to look at this, but also just as a side note, just
S equals to EX. Just check the formula.
Brilliant. Just as a comment, we should probably also at least publish 1 video before the CCC starts. We're already working on a language. I'm not going to reveal anything, but just as a reminder to Agma that we should get back to working on that.
Indeed we should. I have much more time to do that now, so
Yeah, that's very good.
Now that marriage is complete. Oh yeah, if you guys didn't see the community post, married now. Boom, Enya Shui Agma Schwa forever.
Wow, I didn't even know conlangers could do that.
Oh my god.
Life obtained.
See, Agma is different. Agma actually has a life, unlike anyone else on this call.
Oh my god.
That's why Agma's the popular one here.
Yeah.
You say as Dylan goes off to take care of his child.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Speaking of life, I gotta head out. I gotta go walk a dog. So.
Hey,
the child will be a conlanger too, so it doesn't count.
There you go.
I'll see you guys later.
Tokipona native speaker. Alright, see ya.
Adios.
Okay.
S equals EX.
Yeah, S equals E over X. What the heck? S is the size of each set. E is the expected number of submissions based on previous circuses and subscriber trends.
Okay,
and
I'm gonna
X,
tell you one thing. I'm not gonna do any statistics because I hate statistics.
Oh
No.
my god.
It is the branch of math that I dislike the most, and I had to put up with some functional analysis this year. So no, statistics, horrible, don't want to deal with it.
Counterpoint, sex.
You know, you got a point.
See, I've chosen a hell of a time to come back.
Yeah.
Dare I even ask what led to counterpoint sex?
Where we're looking at the sexy formula right now.
Fascinating. God damn it.
Right.
Okay, I think I get the point of the sexy formula.
Yeah.
We don't need to do that much math, I don't think. Dear God, this is an essay. Oh man. Vote for the languages you like. The more views. This way a video could get 10 votes, but 1 million views doesn't get picked, or a video with 5 votes and 250 views. Yeah, we were talking about that. I think there shouldn't be winners necessarily.
Also, I do love that you're wearing the glasses, Agma.
Hotspot glasses.
It's a requirement. I freaking these glasses are a staple now.
You're even wearing them in the server icon.
Yeah, I think now that it's in the server icon, like I think it's part of my official Agma Schwa uniform, at least for the time being. I found where you could buy them. Because I got these at just like a thrift shop for like $8. And then someone messaged me on Discord saying like, "Hey, I don't know if you know this, but where did you get those glasses?" And then I did a very deep dive on octagonal glasses, and then I found out that you could get packs of them in all different colors on like Alibaba.
Buy them and sell them as merch at double the price.
There you go. Nobody will know. Yeah. They're not going to go through that effort to buy 12 on their own for $12.
Yeah, do that. You should probably make that merch, honestly.
This is some capitalism.
Yeah, true. Capitalism moment, straight from Alibaba. But yeah, so if you want the glasses, let me know. Anyway, all right. So this is going through a lot of data too. We got it's pretty much talking about what we were talking about, but it's involving a little bit more math. But yeah, I get the point. There is at least one other one that I want to look at that might be in the in this view 30 more responses and sheets, because I know Eleanor, the one who created HanZU, had a suggestion that involved a program that she was making. So let's
take a look at that, shall we?
Yeah, let's take a look at what that suggestion was. Come on, let's go over here. Probably one of the last ones.
Shall I do the searching?
You can if you want, yeah. Let's see.
Okay. Hold on.
Yeah, I don't know if Eleanor's...
You'd have to link the thing. Oh, there it is, I think.
Is it shared with you?
I'm not sure what her name is, but is it Elia normally?
Yeah,
Because that's
yeah.
one.
Yeah, it's Ellen normally.
Then I already saw it. I already saw it. Then it's if you scroll back to the. Okay, there you go. That's also one way of doing it.
Oh, I just
Sixth from the top, Agma. Look at the column B. Column B.
Yeah.
Column
there
B.
we go.
Yeah.
Nice.
God. That is how you use a spreadsheet. Yes.
So Ellen normally has
Double
said.
Click on the cell. There you go.
Has said, I think a tiered system of submissions would probably be ideal. Getting everyone to look at just a few and deciding which one they preferred, a binary system, and then using the net count of wins versus losses to help determine which ones go to the finals. And she said that she was working on some kind of program that would be able to do that somehow.
I'm not sure how good of an idea that would be, candidly.
Okay. Yeah.
Then you'd just be served two random things that you might not be interested in, but someone else would be.
Yeah, I think at this point that would be more complicated than the strategy that we've been talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, dang. But yeah, so... Alright, again, there's a ton of these, but we're approaching the 2-hour mark where I wanted to end things. So I think at this point we should kind of move on to some final discussion about...
Yeah, so let's take a look at what I've written down here. If we go...
Yes.
If you have to scroll up a bit because that's not where it starts. So first point is judges will not be looking at every submission because that is not tenable anymore. We can't do that. We can't look at 200 or 300 submissions.
Yes.
That just doesn't work.
It's unfortunate, but it's impossible.
Yeah. Next, then, not sure about the execution of this. We'll have to figure that out. But we'll have a big list with all the submissions. That's after the submission period ends. We're gonna set that up. And then audience can vote for the top 5 or top then or top X or whatever. And what I do is either you literally just select your top 5, or you can get things like where you can give 5 points to one, 4 points to another, and so on. But we have to make it clear which one it is, because with these kinds of surveys, I always get confused whether it is my top one number 5 because I'm giving 5 points to them, or is my top one number 1, because that's always confusing. So we'll have to make sure we communicate that clearly, but I think that should be possible.
Very fair.
And also make it so people can't see what other people have voted for, so there is no, I'm voting for this because everyone else is voting for it.
Yeah.
So
that's
good. Kind of the... then submissions... The final submissions for the video have to be 10 to 15 minutes at most. There is no lower limit, so if you can somehow squeeze your submission into 4 minutes, go ahead.
Yeah.
But there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah, we'll be okay with that if you can make it work.
Reading the text, and I'll elaborate by saying translation. If I need it spelled, translation. That does not count. Sorry. I'm eating tomatoes with salt, and I think I need a glass of water. But yeah, reading the translation does not count as part of the video, or it doesn't count to the video length. Like, you can make a 10-minute video and then read the text on top of that.
Yeah, I think
because otherwise, if your language is so cursed that the text ends up being long, that would render you unable to actually talk about the language, and I don't think that makes much sense. So that can be part of it, because we also don't have to watch all of it. We can say, okay, we kind of get the point here. Let's skip ahead. We're not going to listen to the remaining 10 minutes of the translation.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah.
I have a quick question. So, how would the video's length be verified? It's under the limit if we have it set so the translation doesn't count towards it, because then we wouldn't be able to just use the YouTube.
That is a good point. That is actually a good point. I'm going to have an idea for that. I'm going to write that down to make sure that we can check that via the
timestamps.
Translation to be a separate video.
Oh, separate video.
Would make the video longer than 15 minutes. Like, if it's short enough to where it fits in the 15 minutes, make it one video. But if your translation is 2 hours, make that a separate video. I think that should work.
That makes sense. Yeah. And I would also say strongly prefer, if not require, a timestamp showing exactly where the translation starts.
Yeah,
it's super easy to do. I could even freaking demonstrate how to do it in the announcement video if people don't know how to do it.
Having just sections in the video demarcating the different things you're talking about would also just be useful.
It's good for the algorithm too. If you want your video to get views, timestamps is a great way to increase your views, because it takes YouTube's auto generation efforts away from splitting videos into chapters and has it how you want it to be. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Again, to summarize, your video should be at most 15 minutes. The length of the translation does not count, and if including the translation would put your video over 15 minutes, put it in a separate video. If not, you can still make it a separate video or include it in the main video, but also then prefer to include a timestamp so we know when it starts. And because the main thing that I want to avoid is you don't have, like, every submission would be too, otherwise that's a bit much. Like, you don't have to make it a separate video. Like, if you can keep it short enough, just put it in the same video. I think that is easier to review and handle just in general than having to jump between two videos. And also, one more thing. The video must be publicly accessible.
There you go.
No
so
email links to a Google Drive to Agma.
Yeah, we can't do that anymore. It makes it too easy for like your email address or something to be like visible on the screen, and then I have to go through all this effort to crop it and cut dialogue and stuff to make sure that your email address or whatever isn't visible. So we're gonna literally require them to be publicly available YouTube videos from now on. It's the only way.
Recommendation is to put it on YouTube. If you must make it an unlisted video, you can. Sure, but we would recommend just making it a public video.
Yeah.
If someone really wants to post a video on Reddit, it's possible to review it that way, but we would prefer YouTube.
Yeah. Well, I would even say, because I want engagement on the subreddit, I would say definitely post a link to your YouTube video on the subreddit, but don't make your only submission available exclusively on Reddit, because
also, one thing I'm gonna ban is Google Drive or anything similar is not allowed, because that's just too annoying to deal with.
Since my stuff for how, like, the first one's gonna work is people are going to go through a whole YouTube playlist, so all the videos are in one place. So
yeah, exactly.
It's best to straight up require it to be on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
We can also just do that. Yeah, I think that's easier.
I think it needs to be a YouTube video. As funny as it was for that one person who submitted it on like archive.org or whatever, like there was one on archive.org. Funny meme, but like it's not helpful for other people to see your video, you know?
Yeah. I think that makes sense. The video must be on YouTube.
Yeah, and especially if the main voting is through a Google form, it'll be it'll be super streamlined if every video is just a YouTube video. So that shall be it. If that limits a couple people, then we're still gonna have a lot of submissions anyway. Sorry to say
but everything being accessible will keep our voter base large.
Yeah, exactly.
Also because Cleta here mentioned that time to submit my submission using a carrier pigeon. You could do IP over avian carriers. That's a joke I received from like a while ago, where they detailed how you would implement IP over avian carriers, meaning a network protocol that uses basically pigeons to send the IP packets or stuff like that. And they had an image that was an example of packet loss, and it's just a dead bird.
Oh, that's so bad.
Oh god!
I just found the archive.org submission.
If anyone is interested, here's I'll put it in chat, the link to IP over avian carriers.
I didn't even know you could send links in a YouTube live chat. Look at that.
You can. You can. I think normal people can't, but I'm a mod, so I can.
Got it. I'm gonna use that in the future. Anyway, that's funny.
Packet loss ratio of 55% due to operator error.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, let's finish off what we've decided here. So where were we at? We were at.
We were at here at the if your submission is longer, then this is just something. That is something you should mention in.
Yes. The part 2 approach. And the shortened version approach. Yeah.
That
Yeah, side note, do a live stream and have the top languages fight each other in the Hunger Games simulator. Like it. Love it. Then have honorable mention categories for most cursed grammar, most cursed phonology, etc. And avoid a situation where a lot of languages are just nominally rock languages. Yes.
Yeah.
There will be themes, but I'm going to make sure that those themes will be extremely difficult to cheat through.
Yeah, basically.
Yes. Anyway, and additionally, all submissions have to be in English only. Well, obviously you're presenting a language, but the language needs to be presented in English, and the audio and production quality has to be decent. I'm not saying you have to go out and buy an entire freaking microphone for it, but just, if you can audibly hear, like, the squealing of the cosmic microwave background radiation, like, louder than your actual voice, then we will unfortunately have to not include that in the list, because we don't want to hurt people. Yes, and then people should put CCC3 in the YouTube video title. And again, I would like to personally suggest saying the whole word, the whole phrase, Curse Conlang Circus 3, if the title of your language is short. But if the title is long, then CCC3 will be fine. Maybe even hashtag CCC3 for one of the hashtags in there to increase the algorithm net. Especially if your channel is like just getting started and you're not confident that you'll get views on it and you want to get views on it, put that hashtag in there, and since other people will be doing it too, you'll be boosted, even if just by a little bit. Reviews will be done in submission order just like last time, which, yes, it could mean that, the further down the list we get, the quality increases over time on average. But that's kind of okay because we want people to make it to the end, and go through, but yes. And then invite some of the mods, maybe ŋatrons, to be there for final judging. Do it on our server instead of Big Lang. Again, Big Lang members, if you want to participate,
I wrote that twice, damn it.
Yeah. Well, if Big Lang members want to come in, then we'll talk to them. We'll make a special exception, let them into the channel or whatever.
They can just tell us, and I'll give them a role that lets them join or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And then winners as well. If any of the winners from the past 2 years want to be judges, then definitely let us know. Even if you're not a ŋatron or any of those things, then we'll give you a special role so that you could participate in said final judging, because that would be very cool. And then people cannot vote on their own submission, they could still be judges. And yes, and the translation, yes, is to be announced. We have several ideas, but I don't think we've really narrowed it down to a single one yet. And same with the themes. I have many ideas, but I have not yet decided what those themes will be.
We have a few ideas for the translation, but nothing final yet.
Yeah. So, and then other than that, all the other rules that have applied to the previous ones, like you're disqualified if it's got any offensive content in it. Make sure it's in the right format. Make sure you send it to me by the due date, or when I inevitably make an extension like I have both other times, don't make me wait super long because we got to get moving on this. Yeah, and then the form, where the audience judging will come in, will happen, and the circus shall be on, and it'll be beautiful.
Yeah.
Very nice. Any other final points that we want to add in there? Because that's hashtag
maybe,
JK.
In addition to ŋatrons, maybe the nods as well, because
yeah, that's fair. If you become a nod on the Discord server, you've earned it too. So welcome.
Yeah. You've donated much more than $3.
Yeah. At that point, you've donated your lives.
Yeah. In case anyone doesn't know, you get the nod roll by sending 69,420 messages on the server.
I'm 32% of the way there.
I still think it's insane that we have people that hit that.
Yeah, I never thought it would happen, but it happened.
Yeah, nonetheless. One of them is in this call right now.
Yeah.
Hi.
Certified Seomet right there, just like falling off a cliff.
I just checked. I need 66,000 more messages until I get to that.
Yeah, I think I need like 47,000. A little bit much.
Oh man,
I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel here.
Very honorable. All right, yeah. Well, again, any other final words? Because that's pretty much it. Now the time has come to make the announcement. Not today, but I mean now is the time for to actually begin to make the announcement. There you go.
What we can already say is that the time period is going to be more or less the same as last year. So end of submissions are going to be like in September probably again.
Yeah. Well, so last year the announcement happened like the third week of June, I think, is when I made that YouTube short that announced it, and then I made a full video double announcing it 2 weeks after that. So it was like the first week of July. This time, hopefully, we could have formal, actual announcement sometime in, June, maybe even early June. Who knows how much I'll be able to get done. I have more time now that the wedding is done. But yes, I would like to get it out as soon as possible to give people time. And for the final project to be done before Christmas trees go up. Maybe that would be nice. Oh, God. I cannot spend a third Christmas in a row stressing about the circus. Never again. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Live stream complete. Thank you all for watching, and thanks to the 253 people who answered that form and the 132 people who left varyingly detailed comments of your specific ideas. Sorry we couldn't go over all of them in this video. I have gone over the vast majority of them myself in my free time, so don't think you haven't been seen, but I don't want this live stream to go on forever. We've done our purpose.
Word.
Yes, indeed. All right, cool. Well, say goodbye, everyone, because stream shall be coming to an end.
Bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Adios.
Is out.
Adios, amigos.
Rest in peace, Green Kitty 1. Hi and bye.
Oh,
Bye.
That's sad.
Oh, rip. But no, seriously.